Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, dear colleagues, alumni of APCEIU, partners, and friends. First of all, it is my pleasure to be the MC of this event. My name is Anna Chung from APCEIU. On behalf of APCEIU, I would like to extend our gratitude to everyone who is being here with us to celebrate APCEIU's 20th anniversary. I believe that many of you are watching this video, online, and you might recognize me, and I'm really happy to be connected with you online today. I sincerely hope that all of you are safe and well in this time of health and economic crisis. Today, with the theme of Global Citizens, Call for Solidarity and Cooperation in Pandemic, we'll commemorate our past 20 years. On August 25th of 2000, APCEIU, under the auspices of UNESCO, was established in Seoul, Republic of Korea. Since then, we have strived to promote a culture of peace through education for international understanding and global citizenship education. We have put forth our utmost efforts to become an influential catalyst of EIU and GCD. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we're hosting this event online. Although we're not able to see each other face to face, we're really happy to invite our precious partners and stakeholders all around the world via online. Right now, we have many participants present with us virtually to celebrate the anniversary. Thank you very much for being with us right now from all parts of the world. Today, for this event, many of our key stakeholders and alumni are here to celebrate our 20th anniversary and to share their experiences. So please stay with us for the next 90 minutes, and also feel free to leave congratulatory messages and your pledges as global citizens in the comments and chat sections online as we proceed with the program today. If we have the time, I'll be sharing some of the inspiring comments later on. So let's begin. First, I would like to invite the alumni of APCEIU's Youth Leadership Workshops to celebrate APCEIU's 20th anniversary. A Song for Global Citizens is arranged by the youth leaders based on the original song Lean on Me, which will be presented. Please enjoy the song.
So I'm here to tell all of you a story. It's all about GCED, Global Citizenship Education, not the one but for the whole nation. Advocate, lead, don't step aside. Youth leaders, focus and be with pride. This is our time is now. Let's all take action some way, somehow. We might be young, but we're also mighty. We are change makers, let's change society. To foster and include GCED for all, whether you're big or whether you're small. I know when we left Busan that week, we did much more than Facebook and tweets. We championed the change to impact the world to ensure GCED is heard.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, and if we are wise, we know the days
follow your pride. If I think you need to borrow, for no one can feel those of your needs that you won't let show.
Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
Now you're probably thinking, is that all I got? Well, take a seat right now, cause this block is hot. Let me spit a few more bars on what I know, on how we can plant seeds of peace to grow. Lead a workshop or seminar. Tell everyone you know what you got so far. Tell a friend, tell an aunt or uncle too. Peace won't be possible, not without you. We must play our role in promoting peace. That's the only way hate and war can cease. Equality and justice are key things to ensure this game of peace we win.
Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
20 years large, 20 years so great. Kudos to this team for carrying their weight. Everyone working side by side, beaming with happiness, honor, and pride. Now to everyone I ask, what will you do to ensure this dream of peace comes true? Celebrate progress, big or small. We're all in this together, all for one and one for all.
Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
Wow. Did you all enjoy the song? It was a very impressive performance, and I truly appreciate and admire all the efforts the youth leaders have put into this performance. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to invite the director of APCEIU, Mr. Lim Hyun-mook. He would like to give the welcoming remarks to everyone joining this online ceremony. Director Lim, please.
Thank you, Anna. Hello, everyone. Warm greetings from Seoul, Korea. Welcome to this online celebration of APCEIU's 20th anniversary. Together with the staff members of APCEIU, I thank you all for being with us today to share our hopes as global citizens of this planet and to voice our call for solidarity and cooperation. As tragically revealed by today's pandemic crisis, we realize even more clearly that we are all interconnected, and therefore we cannot be safe alone as long as others are not safe. So we need solidarity and cooperation more than ever before. This is why we have decided to turn this commemoration of APCEIU's 20th birthday into a global campaign for global solidarity and cooperation. So I strongly ask you to leave your messages for solidarity and cooperation through YouTube or Zoom. Please share with us your words of inspiration and encouragement in these times of multiple crises. Colleagues and friends, APCEIU has promoted global citizenship education, GCED, over the last 2 decades. More than 13,000 educators, education policymakers, and youth leaders have benefited from our capacity building programs, and more than 1,900 teachers have enjoyed APCEIU's exchange programs. and many of them are implementing follow-up activities in their local context. APCEIU has also facilitated sharing of knowledge and experiences. Its international conferences have brought together more than 3,800 people from all over the world. I thank all the participants of our programs and our partner institutions for your valuable contribution and cooperation, without which 20 years of APCEIU's activities would not have been possible. Building on these achievements, APCEIU will further strengthen its efforts to promote GCED in the coming years. APCEIU will take special actions to strengthen institutional capacities of our partner institutions in the Asia-Pacific region and other regions. So far, APCEIU has focused on capacity building of individual educators and education policymakers. In the coming years, we will make additional efforts to contribute to strengthening capacities of institutions in different countries so that there will be more APCEIUs in many countries. Madam Audrey Azoulay, Director General of UNESCO, has made exactly same point in a preface to our recent publication on the history of APCEIU's 20 years. Director General Azoulay is saying that as we embark on the decade of action for 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda, we need more centers like APCEIU, which trains global citizens so they can tackle injustice and inequalities. I thank Director General Azoulay for this encouraging compliment. I also thank Assistant Director General Stefania Giannini for strong support for the work of APCEIU. Colleagues and friends, before closing my remarks, allow me to extend my special appreciation to Secretary General Ban Ki-moon for his continuing and unwavering support for GCED and APCEIU. I express our special thanks to Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education Yoo Eun-hye and her team at the Ministry of Education Korea for their strong support for the work of APCEIU. I also thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Korea, especially Director General for Public Diplomacy, Seo Eun-ji, and her team for their numerous initiatives to advance the agenda of GCED in the international community. My special appreciation goes to the Ministers of Education, Bhutan, Cambodia, and the Philippines for kindly sharing encouraging messages for APCEIU. I also thank the 6 presenters who will be showing us their actions to promote solidarity and cooperation through GCED. Lastly, I must not forget to mention the work of the former directors of APCEIU, Dr. Samuel Lee, Mr. Kang Dae-gun, Mr. Lee Seung-hwan, and Dr. Woo Tak-chung for their tireless efforts and remarkable achievements. I truly thank you. I also feel deeply thankful to the chairs of the Advisory Committee and the Governing Board, Professor Kwon Tae-jun, Dr. Chung Do-yong, Professor Han Jun-sang, Dr. Baek Hee-dong, and Professor Kang Sun-won for your insightful wisdom and guidance for APCEIU's activities and organization. I thank you all once again for being with us today for this online event. I hope that we will reconfirm our determination to work together as global citizens for solidarity and cooperation, especially in this time of pandemic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Lim, for the heartfelt welcoming remarks. Now, I'm honored to invite His Excellency Ban Ki-moon, the 8th Secretary General of the United Nations. He has always shown his great support and encouragement towards GCED and APCEIU in the past years. His Excellency Ban Ki-moon will deliver a commemorative address.
Distinguished members of the UNESCO Asia-Pacific Center of Education for International Understanding, APCEIU, it is my great pleasure to send my heartfelt congratulations on the 20th anniversary of the APCEIU, albeit virtually. This is still meaningful that we are taking a moment to reflect on the proud history of the APCEIU. As we look around the world, people are still starving and not guaranteed the right to education. Conflicts, disputes, and polarization are growing. Worse yet, climate change is threatening the very survival of the entire global ecosystem. The unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic reveals this depressing reality. The era of vast confusions and uncertainties demands a paradigm shift on a global scale. Under these circumstances, global citizenship education holds added significance today. It is essential to fulfill universal values such as peace, human rights, social justice, and sustainable development, not to mention combating climate change. This is because promoting mutual understanding through global citizenship education helps us realize that we all belong to this world as global citizens, regardless of our race, religion, age, and gender. This allows us to act based on respect for others and fundamentally changes the way we think. Especially in times of global crises like COVID-19, this change of our perspective can unite us as one world community living on this planet. Ladies and gentlemen, for the past 2 decades, the APCEIU has been actively promoting global citizenship education and fostering mutual understanding between countries and ethnicities in the Asian Pacific region and the world. In particular, it has greatly contributed to reflecting the value of global citizenship on the Sustainable Development Goals. These efforts by the APCEIU go in line with what I had been pursuing, highlighting during my term as the Secretary General of the United Nations. Maintaining international peace and security, protecting human rights, and promoting sustainable development are the pillars that sit at the heart of what the United Nations does. Recognizing the importance of cultivating a sense of global citizenship to achieve these goals, I made it priority agenda for global education while pushing forward the Global Education First initiative in 2012. This also directly aligned with the purpose of establishing the Ban Ki-moon Center for Global Citizens in 2018 in Vienna, Austria, and the Ban Ki-moon Foundation for a Better Future in 2019 in Seoul, Korea. Education is a fundamental human right, and global citizenship education is indispensable for a peaceful and sustainable future. Especially in the face of the pandemic, knowing how to live in harmony with others as members of the international community in the spirit of cooperation and solidarity, not discrimination and hatred, has become an utmost task. I hope the Republic of Korea and the APCEIU could take proactive steps together and share the best practices of implementing global citizenship education with the world. Additionally, I'd like to highlight the importance of providing environmental education to the youth along with global citizenship education. to make a positive change towards sustainable development, climate and environmental education should be provided from an early age, as the period determines one's mindset and the way of life. Providing environmental education to the youth and growing them into eco-centric adults cannot be stressed enough, as they will be the ones who take on the burden from the environmental crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, global citizenship education and environmental education can serve as long-term solutions that reinforce our capacities to adapt to the changes of our time and respond to prevailing global crises. We cannot live alone. We must stay connected to one another. This means we need to learn how to live together as global citizens. Before I close, I'd like to once again express my gratitude to Director Hyun-Muk Lim and all staff members of the APCEIU for their hard work to reinforce global citizenship education. Also, I appreciate the Korean government, particularly the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, for their continued support to the APCEIU's activities for the past 20 years. Looking forward to the APCEIU's greater role in fostering global citizenship, I promise to assist in any way possible. Thank you.
Thank you, His Excellency, for your encouragements and insightful messages. From now on, there will be the congratulatory remarks from our strongest supporters and partners. First, it is my honor and privilege to invite Her Excellency Yoo Eun-hae, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education of the Republic of Korea, to deliver her congratulatory remarks.
안녕하세요. 대한민국 부총리 겸 교육부 장관 유은혜입니다. 유네스코 아시아태평양 국제이해교육원 설립 20주년을 진심으로 축하드립니다. 그동안 유네스코 아태교육원은 다양한 국내외 활동을 통해서 국가 간의 상호 이해를 증진하고 국제사회에서 평화와 연대의식을 함양하는 데 핵심적인 역할을 해왔습니다. 그 결과 국제이해교육과 세계 시민교육 분야의 선도 기관으로서 국제적으로 인정을 받고 있습니다. 이는 아태교육원 임직원분들의 열정과 노력, 그리고 국내외 많은 관계자분들의 관심과 지원이 있었기에 가능했습니다. 이 자리를 빌려 모든 분들께 깊은 감사의 인사를 드립니다. 전 세계가 코로나19로 인해 어려움을 겪고 있는 지금 연대와 포용의 가치를 지키고 편견과 차별에 대응하기 위한 세계 시민정신의 중요성이 더 높아지고 있습니다. 이러한 때에 비판적 사고와 상호 이해, 그리고 공감 능력을 기르는 세계 시민교육을 촉진하기 위한 아태교육원의 활동은 더욱 의미 있다고 생각합니다. 앞으로 전 세계가 코로나19 이후에 보다 평화롭고 포용적인 사회로 나아가는 데 기여할 수 있도록 아태교육원의 더 큰 활약을 기대하면서 교육부도 적극 지원하겠습니다. 오늘 이 자리가 지난 성과를 축하하는 데 그치지 않고 포스트 코로나 시대에 아태교육원이 나아가야 할 방향을 모색하고 새로운 비전과 역할을 정립해 나가는 계기가 되기를 바랍니다. 고맙습니다.
Thank you, Minister, for your encouraging and remarkable congratulatory address. Next, I would like to kindly invite Madame Stefania Giannini, Assistant Director General for Education of UNESCO.
On behalf of the Director General and myself, I would like to extend my deep congratulations to APCEIU on this important 20th anniversary. Your center has been established in 2000, and it is in coincidence with the International Year for a Culture of Peace, proclaimed by the UN General Assembly. And since that time, the decade evolved in a sequence of activities and initiatives reflecting the principle of international, intercultural understanding and cooperation for peace. 20 years later, we see that your hard work on peace through education and through a specific topic I would like to underline today, which is global citizenship for education, which is around 4.7 in the 2030 agenda SDG 4 roadmap. You really build a very important constituency, community around you and behind you. Through your center's research activities, either we talk about teacher training, workshops, multimedia learning outcomes, everything I could personally see coming to Seoul last year, and I was really very much impressed by that. Through all these initiatives, I think that especially in this COVID-19 pandemic, unprecedented situation, you can really become more and more increasingly reference point within the international community of education. And one crystal clear lesson emerging from living through this unprecedented crisis is that the world needs more than ever global citizenship education, and the world needs more than ever kind of education based on values, on what we call the 4.7 peaceful tool to build a better society and to recover better with a new kind of approach to education. And transforming education means more than ever transforming society. To that end, UNESCO welcomes the efforts of trusted partners such as APCEIU and the group of friends on solidarity and inclusion with global citizenship education, which, as maybe you know, has been launched in March this year by initiative of the Korean ambassador here at UNESCO. And the UNESCO member states that make up of this group of friends have committed really and clearly to find common solution to counter hate, discrimination, a new revamping of racism that unfortunately we can see in many regions and countries of the world. So I think that we want to valorize more and more the APCEIU initiative and work around 4.7 and global citizenship education. And let me say to conclude that UNESCO deeply appreciates the long-standing and productive collaboration with your center. I'm convinced that your center will continue to play an even more influential role in terms of publication, in terms of guidelines about these topics, but also in terms of concrete actions that can be more and more linked to the initiatives that UNESCO has been taken under the COVID-19 pandemic with the Global Education Coalition. So allow me really to wish you a very happy 20th anniversary and best wishes for the next more than 20 years.
Thank you, Madame, for your warm messages. It means a lot to us. Thank you. Now, on behalf of the Korean Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Madam Seo Eun-ji, Director General for Public Diplomacy and Cultural Affairs of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, is here to deliver the congratulatory remarks.
Mr. Ban Ki-moon, former Secretary of the United Nations, Ms. Yoon-hye, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Ms. Stefania Giannini, Assistant Director General for Education and UNESCO, Mr. Im Hyun-moo, Director of APCEIU. Excellencies, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure and honor to join you today in celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Asia-Pacific Center of Education for International Understanding, APCEIU, under auspices of UNESCO. I'd like to offer my warmest congratulations and best wishes to APCEIU on this special occasion. APCEIU was established as the first UNESCO Category 2 center in the Republic of Korea at the turn of the millennium. Over the past 20 years, APCEIU has worked hard to come closer to its goals of fostering global citizenship and building a culture of peace. Within this short period of time, APCEIU has made remarkable contributions in the field of education, which has allowed it to grow into a highly competent UNESCO Category 2 center that is widely recognized in and beyond the Asia-Pacific region. In 2021, Korea and UNESCO will jointly host UNESCO Forum on Education for Sustainable Development and Global Citizenship, which aims to review the global progress made in the areas of education for sustainable development and global citizenship, which are enshrined as Target 4.7 of the Sustainable Development Goal on Education. APCEIU will assume an important role in the organization of this event, and I'm sure that this will be a great opportunity to further promote GCED as an important part of the SDG agenda. Dear friends and colleagues, the current COVID-19 pandemic has brought unprecedented challenges, and we have all been struggling to adapt to what is now called a new normal. In the face of such challenges, the Korean Foreign Ministry in last May took the initiative of launching the UNESCO Group of Friends for Solidarity and Inclusion with Global Citizenship Education. The objective of this group is to provide UNESCO member states with a platform to exchange experiences and find ways to counter hate and discrimination. As a strong champion of GCED, APCEIU will no doubt be a great asset for the future activities of the group. Ladies and gentlemen, the outbreak of COVID-19 has accelerated the arrival of an unknown and unpredictable future. Against this backdrop, the relevance of UNESCO's mission of fostering peace through education has become more prominent than ever. I am convinced that in the coming years, APCEIU will continue to strengthen its activities aimed at forming responsible and tolerant global citizens. I once again congratulate APCEIU on its 20th anniversary and hereby reiterate the Ministry of Foreign Affairs' steady support to APCEIU in all its future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director General, for your meaningful congratulations. This year also marks the 70th anniversary of the Republic of Korea joining UNESCO. And the establishment of APCEIU is a crucial part of these 70 years of history. To share the importance of Korea and UNESCO's partnerships, the Korean Ministry of Foreign Affairs would like to present a special video for this occasion. Please enjoy the video.
In June 1950, the Republic of Korea became the 55th member state of UNESCO. Unfortunately, only days after joining, the Korean peninsula suffered the outbreak of war. In the aftermath of the conflict, UNESCO offered Korea hope for a brighter future.
In the aftermath of the Korean War, Korea was in desperate need of help from the global community. At that critical moment, UNESCO provided the country with precious aid in the form of primary school textbooks. The generous support by UNESCO and other UN agencies enabled a whole generation of Korean children, including myself, to continue their education in the face of great hardship. This is how, in Korea's darkest hour, UNESCO gave us hope for a better future.
The seeds of peace planted by UNESCO 70 years ago helped Korea to grow into a prosperous democracy. Over the past decades, Korea transformed itself from a recipient of development aid to a significant donor. Today, Korea is a key partner of UNESCO, and together we aspire to change the world for the better. Korea is an ardent defender of equal opportunities for education and growth. We partner with UNESCO on its Global Citizenship Education Initiative, empowering learners to become responsible global citizens.
대한민국은 아시아, 아프리카에서 또 다른 교육의 기적을 꿈꾸는 나라들을 돕고 있으며 세계 시민교육과 지속가능 발전 교육 등 미래 세대에 꼭 필요한 교육 의제를 선도적으로 이끌고 있습니다.
Korea is a dedicated supporter of UNESCO's efforts to preserve the natural, cultural, and intangible heritages of humanity for our future generations. UNESCO has taught us that the heritage of war and division can turn into a strong foundation for future peace. The historic joint inscription of traditional Korean wrestling, Serum, as a UNESCO intangible heritage, marked an important step toward peace and reconciliation on the Korean Peninsula. We hope that the demilitarized zone, currently a symbol of the division of the Korean Peninsula, will one day become a heritage of humanity and a powerful symbol for peace.
And UNESCO is determined to do all it can to support the path towards lasting peace on the whole peninsula. But I'm also thinking of the demilitarized zone, which today is a symbol of division, and that could become a space for peace and cooperation, for nature and biodiversity under the label of UNESCO. This would send a strong message of hope, not only to the Korean Peninsula, but also around the world.
Korea aims to strengthen its partnership with UNESCO in order to face future challenges together. We firmly support UNESCO's important initiative to establish a common global foundation of ethical principles in the field of artificial intelligence. We stand together with UNESCO in our response to the global coronavirus pandemic, and we will make every effort to counter hate and discrimination in this time of crisis.
70 years ago, Korea became a member of UNESCO to join in the efforts to build a world where peace is firmly built upon the intellectual and moral solidarity of humankind. 70 years later, that aspiration remains our guiding light. We believe that strong solidarity is the only way to overcome global challenges, and all the more so in this time of an unprecedented global health crisis. As a committed member, Korea stands ready to continue contributing to UNESCO's founding cause, advancing international peace through education, science, and culture.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Today, from the beginning of this ceremony, we're getting many comments from the audience, and there are lots of great remarks. Now, I would like to share 3 of the many inspiring comments that we got. One comment is from Ethiopia, from Professor Jonas Adeyadeto. He said, "I'm delighted to be part of this vibrant set of global citizens. It is a pleasure to see that we all survive in strange time of coronavirus. Thank you for giving us this chance to come together." Thank you. Another comment is from Tonga, from Lucy Mwala Mafi from the Tonga National Commission for UNESCO. Maloelele, everyone, and greetings from the Kingdom of Tonga. My heartfelt congratulations to APCEIU on reaching 20 years of excellent leadership for peace and GCD. Another comment we got is from the Ministry of Education Kenya, from Dora, who mentioned, "Congratulations APCEIU on your 20th anniversary. The pandemic has just reminded us that we are all connected. May peace prevail always." Today, there were so many encouraging and touching messages from our partners, such as from UNESCO headquarters, ICAS, RCQE, Bridge 47 Networks, from the Philippine Normal University, from also our UNESCO member states, from New Zealand, Indonesia, and many more countries have sent us warm congratulatory remarks. I'm sorry I cannot share all of them with you today, but I would like to let you know that we are currently having a hashtag event on APCEIU's Facebook and Instagram pages. So please check our social network platforms for more information. We welcome you to share your pledges as global citizens and also supporting messages for APCEIU's future. Thank you. Next, on behalf of UNESCO member states that have actively participated and supported APCEIU's programs, Ministers of Education of Bhutan, Cambodia, and the Philippines will convey their congratulations. First, I would like to welcome His Excellency Jai Bir Rai, Minister of Education of Bhutan, for his message.
Kuzampola and Yong Hasayo. Warm greetings from Bhutan. I am Jai Bir Rai, Education Minister. At the outset, I would like to offer my heartiest congratulations on the occasion of 20th anniversary of Asia Pacific Center of Education for International Understanding. I would also like to congratulate Director Lim and the team for being recognized as one of the best performing UNESCO Category 2 centers. It is much deserved recognition, as APCEIU plays pivotal role in promoting global citizenship education. I know ever since establishment, APCEIU has been promoting international understanding and peace through education. It has also been fostering global citizenship for a peaceful and sustainable future. APCEIU has also been continuously building capacity of the educators in the region to strengthen and institutionalize global citizenship education, to empower learners of all ages to be informed, responsible, and proactive citizens. I would like to take this opportunity to remind ourselves about the current pandemic and its impact on education fraternity. I believe, as an educationist, we need to come together in addressing global challenges. Given the current situation, I am happy to share that APCEIU effort to education through a transformative approach is even more relevant for inclusive, just and peaceful world. Please remain assured of our support in all your aspirations and initiatives. I must also not forget to extend my heartfelt gratitude for the continued support and cooperation, especially in the field of education. Once again, thank you, Director Lim, and wish you and your team the best of luck in your all leadership and endeavor. We look forward to work together. Thank you, Tasidile, and Anyonghi Gesayo.
Thank you so much for your words, Minister. Now I'm grateful to invite His Excellency Hang Chuon-naron, Minister of Education, Youth and Sport of Cambodia.
It is my great honor to give the congratulatory remarks on the occasion of the 20th anniversary of the Asia Pacific Center of Education for International Understanding, APCEIU. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to APCEIU for its continuous support in strengthening the education cooperation between the Kingdom of Cambodia and the Republic of Korea. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport of the Kingdom of Cambodia and APCEIU have enjoyed a long-footing friendship with each other. Over the last several years, many programs of cooperation have been established, such as the Asia-Pacific Teacher Exchange for Global Education and Global Citizenship Education Curriculum Development Project. With the support of APCEIU, the Global Citizenship Education has been mainstreamed into the curricular guides, textbooks, and pedagogical materials at various education levels. I strongly believe that our partnership has been more robust than ever, and MOU played a pivotal role in our cooperation. Especially, we made wonderful accomplishments with regard to the General Citizenship Education Curriculum Development and Integration Project to incorporate global citizenship education elements to curricula of moral civic ethics and history from grade 1 to 12, and the International Teacher Exchange Program to improve quality education. With close collaboration with APCEIU, global citizenship education has gradually been integrated into the Cambodian education system, as we see that the notion and the importance of the global citizenship education is blooming in the Cambodian society as a whole. For the last 20 years, the Center has built bridges across nations, organizations, institutions, and individuals, and successfully formed the solid foundation for the growth for global citizenship education development. The network that APCEIU formed commits us to work together more than closely toward our common goal, the pursuit of cultural diversity and equality. I believe that the Center's relentless efforts and proficient manner dealing with the change have inspired and paved the ground for countless individuals, government officials, and educators around the world. The unprecedented crisis has demonstrated the interconnected nature of our world, highlighting the importance of universal solidarity and international cooperation. It has also call on the need for rapid assimilation of the changes in our society. In these times, it is truly impressive to observe the agile and systematic manner APCEIU has performed to cope with the changes and to strengthen solidarity. I have seen that APCEIU continues to engage with educators from many countries through a variety of online resources to discuss the future of general citizenship education with representatives of member states and related organizations. APCEIU is consistently showing acts of cooperation, inspiring hope for a better future. Undoubtedly, APCEIU's effort to promote global citizenship education will lead us to solve issues of discrimination, inequality, and environment, etc. Under the strong network supported by APCEIU, we can turn this time of hardship as a chance to establish a more peaceful and sustainable future. Once again, I congratulate APCEIU for all your efforts and accomplishments and wish you a successful 10, 20 years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister, for the sincere and heartwarming message. Next, I would like to kindly invite Her Excellency Leonor Briones, Secretary of Education of the Philippines.
The Department of Education of the Republic of the Philippines extends its warmest congratulations and special greetings to APCEIU on the occasion of its 20th anniversary. Through the years, APCEIU has been contributing in very significant ways to the enrichment and the broadening of the curriculum of the Department of Education, the training of our teachers, as well as cultural exchange and personal friendships between and among Korean teachers and officials and their counterpart Filipino officials and teachers as well. And we have also been very active and have contributed as well as learned so much on global education. I myself believe in the importance of teaching our learners more and more about global citizenship. We are citizens of one globe, of one planet, and we are all fellow citizens of each other's constituencies. And we thank APCEIU as well as former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon for initiating this concept of global citizenship as an important component of education. We are now in the midst of very difficult and challenging circumstances. Our attention is largely focused on COVID-19 as well as on the downturn of our own economy. But as we face these challenges, we hope to continue and enrich our joint activities. We want to pick up from where we left off because of all of these terrible interruptions and continue our joint work on teacher exchange and in the teaching as well of global citizenship for all our learners. As we always say, after all, we are citizens of the world. Once more, Congratulations to APCEIU from all of us here at the Department of Education of the Republic of the Philippines. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary, for reminding us again the importance of global citizenship education, especially in this era. From now on, we would like to present the plaques of appreciation. For the last 20 years, there have been many people who have greatly contributed to the development of APCEIU. Among them, we would like to express our gratitude to 13 key contributors. We're deeply grateful to all of them. Today, we'll present this plaque to 3 people who are present here with us. They're connected live from Canada, Korea, and Germany. First, we'll present the plaque of appreciation to Professor To Sui-hin. I would like to invite Director Lim to deliver the plaque.
Thank you, Anna. Plaque of appreciation presented to Professor To Sui-hin in honor and deep appreciation of your significant contribution to the advancement of APCEIU's goal to promote the cultural peace through education. Professor To Sui-hin is an internationally renowned scholar and practitioner of peace education, and in recognition of this, UNESCO awarded its prize for peace education to him in the year 2000. His relationship with APCEIU has been very long and special. He was one of the several experts who conducted feasibility study on the establishment of APCEIU in 1998. Ever since the establishment of APCEIU in 2000, he has never failed to make important contribution to our programs as a key resource person. Moreover, he served as a member of APCEIU's International Advisory Committee and also the governing board for the past 19 years. We don't know how to express our gratitude to Professor To. On this note, I would like to invite Professor To to share with us some thoughts and wishes for the future of APCEIU. Professor To.
Sorry, Professor To, we cannot hear you. Yes. Sorry, I think your computer has muted. So if you can turn on your audio. Yes, I think we can hear you now. Can you say something?
My apologies for that.
Oh, yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much, Director Lin, for your kind words. Shalom, Assalamualaikum, Namaste, Amitofo, Annyeonghaseyo, greetings of peace. I'd like to begin, of course, with warmest congratulations to APCEIU on this very auspicious celebration of your 20th anniversary. To the Government of the Republic of Korea, Director Lim, and the dedicated staff of APCEIU, my heartfelt gratitude for this plaque of appreciation. It's truly a meaningful honor, given I've been engaged intensively with APCEIU as a resource person and also with the advisory board and governing board for many years, not just for during the establishment of APCEIU, but also, of course, as part of the international feasibility team organized by UNESCO. I recall as when the feasibility team began our work, we, of course, recognized the UNESCO 1974 Declaration on EIU. But then in the late 90s, it was really crucial to reconceptualize EIU as EIU towards a culture of peace, so that EIU is no longer just international understanding, but it is a paradigm of transformative education for building a more peaceful, just, and sustainable world. And it was this holistic paradigm of education which convinced me to engage with APCEIU over the last 2 decades. I think it allows for cultivating the synergies and complementarities between EIU and diverse initiatives of transformative education, including peace education, human rights education, intercultural education, education sustainable development, of course, now global citizenship education. I'm hopeful this conceptual strength of APCEIU will remain and grow in the decades ahead. I'd like to first thank all the directors I've had an opportunity to work with and all the thoughtful, creative, and very hardworking staff members of APCEIU over the years. I think they've given me invaluable, inspirational opportunities to share ideas, but also to learn from educators from not only the Asia-Pacific region, but later on from other parts of the world as well. And of course, I pay my respects and appreciation to members of the International Advisory Committee and Governing Board for their collegiality and collaboration. Now, within APCEIU programs, I've been engaged mostly with the education and training program, and I think it's appropriate to share a few memories from those training programs both in Korea as well as in other countries. I well remember one of the earliest training workshop was on a boat anchored off the main island of Fiji, where we learned from each other, we adapted to the gentle swaying of the waves, and we also experienced the traditional kava ceremony. Later on, when APCEIU held its regular workshops in Korea, it was really a moving experience to gather at the DMZ, Demilitarized Zone, where we all felt the tensions of the unfinished Korean War that inflicted so much suffering on the Korean peoples who still continue to face the challenges of building peace in this divided Korean peninsula. I think this field experience during that workshop motivated us to see the great value of education for non-violence and disarmament in a world that is still torn by cycles of violence and wars. But in contrast, we did stay at the Peace Life Valley, where we learned the virtues of sustainable living and nurturing hope for a peaceful and reconciled Korean peninsula. Now, other workshops brought us to encounter, for example, migrant workers in Korea, where we listened to the stories of their daily struggles and their lives away from their families and homes. And once we acknowledge that multiculturalism, which EIU, ESD, and GCED promotes, needs to go beyond just the respect of cultural differences and unity in diversity to addressing systemic racism, which we were reminded of in recent months by the Black Lives Movement around the world. I also strongly feel that APCEIU has been able to move minds, not just minds, but also hearts and spirit of participants, empowering them to try to transform their worlds and their lives towards a more peaceful, just, and sustainable world. And this, I think, has been facilitated by the integration of very creative and critical pedagogies in those training programs. One final memory I'd like to share is I recall the activities of composing songs and role-playing in TV talk shows in which participants were able to step into the shoes of many marginalized peoples. And I think such critical pedagogies challenge educators to ask, why is there still so much global and local injustices in our communities and world? What responsibilities do we all have to build a more just world? And I think just recently, Secretary General Guterres reminded us of the need to overcome international and local inequalities in his Nelson Mandela Foundation speech. And I think as many speakers before me have raised, the current COVID pandemic demonstrated that in an unequal world, the pandemic disproportionately harms marginalized peoples. And of course, now with the intersection of climate change, the crisis aggravated by the COVID-19 pandemic is even greater now. Recently, I had this opportunity to serve as a facilitator in APCEIU's online educational programs. In a world where the internet is now very pervasive, it is really relevant and timely for APCEIU to outreach to many more educators around the world through online programs. Educators who may not be able to join in the in-person training programs. It is true that IT, internet, can be misused for violence, for injustice and discrimination, but I think the APCEIU online courses rather would contribute to the building of a better and more peaceful world. So again, as I express my 10,000 thanks to APCEIU for this great honor, I would like to extend my most wishes to APCEIU for your dedication, your energies, and all your resources in fulfilling your vision and mission of promoting EIU, peace education, human rights education, intercultural education, ESD, and of course GCED towards a culture of peace. May APCEIU continue to grow in commitment, inner strength, creativity, and wisdom in nurturing the values and principles that infuse your vision and mission. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. Thank you so much, Professor Soo-Hyun, and thank you so much for staying up so late at night to connect with us from all the way from Canada. Thank you. Next is Dr. Baek Yi-dong, the Director General of the National Museum of Korea.
Plaque of appreciation presented to Dr. Baek Yi-dong in honor and deep appreciation of your significant contribution to the advancement of APCEIU's goal to promote cultural peace through education. Dr. Baek Yi-dong is currently Director General of the National Museum of Korea. Dr. Baek was Professor of Anthropology at Hanyang University, Korea, and President of Korean National University of Cultural Heritage. He also served as Chair of the Korean Committee for International Council of Museums, ICOM. As an anthropologist and also expert in museology, he strongly believes global citizenship education is crucial for mutual understanding and respect between different cultures. With this expertise, Dr. Bae served as the chair of APCEIU's governing board from 2013 to 19. Now I'd like to ask Dr. Bae to make short remarks. Dr. Bae, please.
Thank you, Dr. Lim. It's great to see you guys here. Professor Do and Madame Choi and the Director Lim and all our staffs. Probably you can see me in the screen. Anyway, congratulations on the 20th anniversary of Asia Pacific Center of Education for International Understanding and the auspices of UNESCO. Anyway, I think we need to gather at the APCEIU and cut the dog and giving congratulations and say some good words. But COVID-19 forbid us to stay at home or office, and we can only communicate with the online. Anyway, good to see you on the screen. But I think there are many people behind the screen right now. Anyway, thank you for your invitation too. This is a special occasion of the 20th anniversary. And I really appreciate all your work to prepare this ceremony. To Dr. Lim Hyun-mook, Director of APCEIU, and all the staffs that I know, and who may be new staffs of APCEIU. Anyway, and also I would like to express my sincere thanks to giving me a plaque of appreciation from APCEIU. Kind of a respect of my chairpersonship last 6 years. But in my recollection is actually I haven't done much to APCEIU, but rather I learned a lot and I expanded my scope a lot. So anyway, I'm very old, but is that giving me a real knowledge and power to expand my work in years to come. APCEIU has been growing remarkably with the full support of the Korean Ministry of Education and the support from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs during the last 20 years. We needed to really thank to the ministry and also Ministry of Culture too. That listen to crisis caused by the COVID-19 are awakening the importance of international solidarity and the cooperation for all of us. Despite the difference in national borders and their races, ideologies, and cultures, the key to wisely solving this global crisis is fundamentally linked to education. I think that the spirit and the power of education as a global citizen to overcome difficulties with the harmony and the tolerance beyond the conflict and the exclusion. It will finally bring our humanity to step on the better level and the better society. I believe that the APCEIU is committed to building a culture of peace through this new education initiative. Also, its role will be more significant for the peaceful and the sustainable world can be achieved. I sincerely hope that APCEIU's activities will continue to develop a more meaningful for all mankind in the future. I hope that all of you who have attended here on this online meeting is good health, much far away from COVID-19, and be healthy. Thank you very much. And we very limited way considering our meeting in the past, but this is a wonderful way to see you and communicating with among us. Very best wishes for all here. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Bae. It's so nice to connect with you. Thank you so much. Last but not least, the plaque goes to Ms. Soo-hyung Choi, who is the director of the UNESCO UNEVOC International Center for Technical and Vocational Education and Training.
Plaque of appreciation presented to Dr. Soo Choi in honor and deep appreciation of your significant contribution to the advancement of APCEIU's goal to promote cultural peace through education. Dr. Soo Choi was Director of Division for Peace and Sustainable Development at UNESCO headquarters in Paris until the end of last year. Dr. Choi played a key role in incorporating global citizenship education as one of the targets of SDG 4 Education 2030 agenda. She initiated its preparation process from 2013 and organized a series of expert meetings and technical consultations. So internationally, Dr. Choi is well known as Madam SDG 4.7. She was also a member of APCEIU's governing board representing UNESCO from 2016 to 2019. In and outside the board meetings, Dr. Choi often made critical remarks about APCEIU's activities, but I'm sure that those were for the solid development of APCEIU. As the Korean proverb says, bitter medicine is good for the body. So I'm pleased to invite Dr. Choi to say a few words. Please.
Thank you. Good morning to everyone online, and then special thanks Dr. Director Lim and my colleagues at APCEIU. Congratulations on your 20th anniversary. And I'll just to say a few words about the global citizenship education, which is one of your flagship concepts. Global citizenship education was born in New York, as our Bang Ki-moon, former Director General, Secretary General mentioned, but it was guarded in Paris by UNESCO, but it grew up in Seoul with APCEIU. So GCED itself is a global citizen. And then actually it was at APCEIU's main conference hall, I guess, where you are holding your meeting now, where we organized the first international consultation on GCED and then laid out the blueprint of this complex concept. Since then, APCEIU has been there all the time with UNESCO and with other global partners to disseminate the noble idea that we are citizens of one world. So I thank you for your commitment all this way, and then this honor that this recognition that I'm honored to receive today is a tribute to your commitment. and a tribute to the good work that my former colleagues at the Division for Peace and Sustainable Development at headquarters. Now, with this pandemic and the ongoing conflicts, I think APCEIU's work will remain relevant more than ever. So as the world will demand you more work and keep you busy, be ready and stay young, even beyond 20 years. But most of all, for the time being, stay safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sichoi. It's good to see you. We'll make sure to deliver the plaques of appreciation to your doors within this year, hopefully. Once again, we express our utmost and sincere gratitude. I would like to remind you again that during this ceremony, we're having a hashtag event on APCEIU's Facebook and Instagram pages. So please join and share your pledges as global citizens and also supporting messages for APCEIU's future. Thank you. Now it is time for us to hear the stories of global citizens' actions for solidarity and cooperation. APCEIU has been so lucky to meet many great program participants and remarkable alumni over the past 20 years. Some representative alumni are present here with us. They'll be sharing their stories and experiences of APCEIU's programs and how it had impacted their lives afterwards. First, we will be hearing from Dr. Bert Tuga from the Philippines.
Hello everyone, greetings from the Philippine Normal University. Almost a decade ago, I was fortunate to be selected as one of the participants for the Asia-Pacific Training Workshop on Education for International Understanding organized by APCEIU. Prior to the said workshop, I was already familiar with APCEIU and its works through my colleagues and mentors in PNU. It was my dream to join the program and visit Korea as well. Never have imagined that the training will have a huge impact to my life. The training has transformed me as a person and as educator. It has developed my advocacies for social change through international understanding, sustainable development, and global citizenship education. It widened my horizon and has exposed me to national and global realities that impact the work that we do every day. Through the years, APCEIU has accompanied me in my national and international engagements, and it has inspired me a lot in my leadership journey, starting when I was a regular faculty member, then later became a director of one office, then as campus executive director, as vice president, and now as university president. As a leader, I always put premium to collaboration, partnership, and networking as very important components of organization success. I promote peace and conflict resolution in my management, and I value and respect diversity of people's views, opinions, and perspectives. These are the influences of UNESCO and APCEIU in my professional endeavors. My relationship with APCEIU has expanded beyond personal. Now it's institutional. PNU and APCEIU share the same vision for education and social transformation. PNU remains steadfast to its commitment to APCEIU to promote GSED in our curriculum, in our national education, and in our international engagements. As your reliable partner in the Philippines, please be assured that we are always here ready to support you in all your endeavors, with or without pandemic. On behalf of the Philippine Normal University, the National Center for Teacher Education, I greet you a happy 20th founding anniversary. More power, APCEIU.
Thank you, Professor Bertuga. Next, we have Dr. Khalaf Marhoun Al-Labri from Oman.
Hello everybody, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. This is really a great chance for me to communicate with people around the world and also my Korean friends. First, I would start by congratulating APCEIU in its 20th anniversary. It's really a great job that the APCEIU is doing right now in the world and in every step they are doing to promote global citizenship around the world. In this presentation or in this video, I'm going to show to the world and also to my APCEIU colleagues the activities and also the projects that I'm doing in GCED. Before starting, I would like to thank APCEIU for the continuous support that I received to conduct and to do all those activities and projects in Oman and also in the Arab world. During the last 3 years, I did a lot of activities and projects, and I attended a lot of GCED conferences in South Korea and Vietnam. And also, I was active in some Arab regional meetings and forums regarding GCED and also supported by APCEIU. To be frank, the first step towards being engaged in global citizenship education activities was the second global capacity building workshop on GCED that was offered to me by APCEIU from 4th to 15th of September. In this workshop, I learned the ABCs of global citizenship education, in which when I went back to Oman from South Korea, I started just thinking about doing a lot of projects and also doing a lot of activities that I will show in the coming, presentation. Through my activities, I did one of the projects that I won the Global Citizen Award last year by APCEIU. Thank you very much APCEIU and Korea for the support that I received during the last 4 years promoting GCED in Oman and the Arab world. I wish you all the best for continuing this great job to promote GCED around the world. Thank you very much from the Sultanate of Oman and Sultan Qaboos University.
Thank you, Professor Alabri. Now I would like to invite Mrs. Nomsa Mpalami from Lesotho. Thank you, Mrs. Umpalami. Next, we have Mr. Horin Kim from Korea.
안녕하세요. 강원도 횡성에 위치한 공근초등학교에서 근무하고 있는 교사 김호린입니다. 세계시민교육을 시작하면서 사실 어디서부터 어떻게 시작해야 할지 막막했습니다. 그래서 먼저 학교 주변을 꼼꼼히 둘러보았습니다. 그런데 아무리 주위를 둘러봐도 끝없이 펼쳐진 산맥과 넓은 들, 그리고 새소리 밖에는 들리는 것이 없었습니다. 여기서 세계시민교육을 어떻게 하지? 아무리 둘러봐도 세계와는 거리가 먼 것 같다는 생각뿐이었습니다. 도무지 답이 보이지 않는 상황에서 우리는 무작정 마을로 발걸음을 옮겼습니다. 마을 선생님을 만나고 감자와 옥수수를 캐며 흘린 땀방울이 쌓일수록 마을은 서서히 우리 곁으로 다가오고 있었습니다. 건강한 먹거리. 마을이 우리에게 준 큰 메시지였습니다. 우리 마을엔 건강한 먹거리를 위해 묵묵히 노력하시는 분이 많다는 것을 알게 되었습니다. 온마을 밥상이라는 이름으로 진행된 프로젝트는 우리 마을에서 생산되는 농산물로 건강한 먹거리를 만들고 학교를 가야 할 나이에 열악한 환경에서 일하고 있는 친구들을 위한 상차림을 하였습니다. 또 미생물로 유기농 비료를 만들어 마을에 보급하는 농업기술센터에서 오신 마을 선생님과 유기농으로 건강한 먹거리를 만들고 계시는 마을 선생님을 학교로 모셔 친환경 농업에 관한 자세한 이야기를 듣게 되었습니다. 우리는 이야기를 듣고 그 이야기를 그림책으로 만들었습니다. 우리가 만든 그림책을 함께 읽고 마을 노래를 부르며 우리 지역을 사랑하는 마음을 가지게 되었습니다. 그리고 미생물 비료와 유기농 농법으로 환경을 생각하며 지속가능한 농업을 만들어가고 있는 우리 마을에 자부심이 생겼습니다.
사실 우리 마을에 대해서 잘 몰랐거든요. 그런데 우리 마을을 탐방하고 이곳저곳 돌아다니면서 우리 마을을 더 잘 알게 된 것 같아요. 그리고 한편으로는 우리 마을에 대해 자부심도 생기고 제가 어른이 되면 우리 마을을 꼭 지키고 싶어요.
머리로만 이해하는 세계시민교육이 아니라 직접 실천하며 또 활동을 통해 느껴지는 감동과 전율로 우리 아이들은 이미 작은 세계시민이 되었습니다. 세계시민은 특별한 존재가 아니라 세계시민의 관점에서 삶의 순간을 성찰하는 것임을 깨닫게 되었습니다. 우리는 모두 세계시민입니다.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. Now I'm glad to invite Dr. Marco D. Meduranda from the Philippines.
Annyeonghaseyo. Magandang araw. My warmest congratulations to UNESCO APCEIU for the celebration of the organization's 20th anniversary. Whenever I remember Korea, I will never forget the building of UNESCO APCEIU, for I experienced one of the greatest professional development opportunity an educator could have in this institution. My participation in the 2018 Korea-Philippines Teacher Exchange Program deeply transformed my perspectives in the purpose of education. I will never forget the kindness of my mentor teacher, Ms. Lee Hae-kyung, and the sweetness of my students in Cheongju Sungshem Hakgyo, who despite of having hearing disabilities showed to me strong interest and enthusiasm in learning Filipino culture and traditions. Certainly, this teacher exchange experience influenced me to carry out projects and activities that promote global citizenship skills, especially to our learners here in my city. Last school year, we had successfully carried out Project GLACE, or Global Learning, through active citizenship education. This is an after-school curriculum enrichment program that taught GCED concepts and intercultural understanding to high school learners. Almost 400 students across 9 public high schools benefited from the program. Learners explore topics like social justice, identity and diversity, and empathy and human rights. Students also conducted community service projects like literacy outreach, coastal cleanup drive, and info advocacy campaigns, which showed the application of learning they obtained from the program. This year, despite the pandemic, I will roll out Project GLACE 2.0, where learners receive GCED lessons via distance learning. Truly, the skills, knowledge, and values I gained in UNESCO APCEIU's programs helped me to become the global educator that I am today. Again, more power and mabuhay, UNESCO APCEIU.
Thank you, Dr. Meduranda. Finally, we have Mr. Jinarat Manujai from Thailand.
Sawadee krap. Hi, my name is Green Jinarat Manojai. I'm from Chiang Mai, Thailand. Once I have a chance to join the APCEIU photo class at Chiang Mai, Thailand. It was a very great experience. I made a lot of new friends, got a lot of new experience that I have never had before. It was a great time. And congratulations to APCEIU for 20 years anniversary. Indeed,ด้วยนะครับ Keep growing up and don't stop making us smile. I expect that APCEIU will be truly known from people all around the world. And I look forward to seeing more and more activity camps and events. Because events can make a very good connection and friendship from people all around the world. And thanks APCEIU that ever gave a chance to me to join the photo class by APCEIU. It's such great memories. Thank you. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary. Happy 20 years anniversaries to APCEIU.
Thank you, Mr. Manojai, for your beautiful song. Did you all enjoy the stories from the 6 alumni of APCEIU? I hope you did. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights and hopes with APCEIU. Lastly, I would like to invite Director Lim of APCEIU again to deliver his closing remarks. And please stay tuned after his remarks because we have a surprise video for you. Director Lim, please.
Thank you, Anna. Singers of the Song for Global Citizens, Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, Education Ministers, Assistant Director General of UNESCO, presenters of GCD Stories, and all the participants. Thank you so much for sharing your messages and stories. We are very much encouraged by your warm congratulations and memorable wishes for APCEIU to play a bigger role in the coming years. We appreciate all your comments and messages. Under today's multiple crises, it is clear that we must have more global citizenship. But we are sadly seeing more nationalism and more bigotry. Certainly we must have more empathy and more responsible action, but we are sadly seeing more divisions and more mistrust. Global citizenship education is the best vaccine to protect ourselves from the temptation and instigation to discriminate and hate others for today's crisis. We must not give up to such a negative aspect of human mind, but maintain positive confidence in our solidarity and cooperation. So our role as educators is critical. Protecting our mind from negative temptations and instigations is best done through education, especially global citizenship education. It is a great pity that we can only meet on this online platform. I believe that we will soon be able to meet each other face to face and talk about our experiences during the pandemic. But the question is, what kind of world we are going to see after this pandemic? I think it all depends upon the actions that we are taking today. If we practice more global citizenship now, then we will see a less violent, less unequal post-corona world. So it is very important for us to work together and put our strengths together to bring the values of GCED to more people and to more countries. I hope today's event has made a meaningful contribution to this end. I also hope today's event has been meaningful for you too. I thank you all for your participation and contribution. I hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Lim, for your concluding remarks. Finally, to end today's event, this was not part of the program, but I would like to share with you all a very short video on APCEIU's 20 years and our future. Thank you all for your presence today at our 20th anniversary celebration, and thank you very much for all your warm and encouraging messages. We hope to see you again on the 3rd to the 5th of November this year, when we will invite you again to join our online international conference on global citizenship education. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you very much.
Our education is somewhat unique. Global citizenship education encourages students to become active learners, to live together rather than compete, to become citizens not just of their own countries,
are having
but
a
of the
technical
globe.
issue at the end.
APCEIU promotes
We will
a
soon
culture
show
of
you
peace
the video.
through global citizenship education and education for international understanding, which enables learners to think, share, and act.
We're trying to fix it so that you can see the video.
Our education is somewhat unique. Global citizenship education encourages students to become active learners, to live together rather than compete, to become citizens not just of their own countries, but of the globe. APCEIU promotes a culture of peace through global citizenship education and education for international understanding, which enables learners to think, share, and act. APCEIU is commemorating its 20th anniversary since its establishment under the agreement between the Government of the Republic of Korea and UNESCO in August of 2000. APCEIU has cooperated with a wide range of partners to fulfill its mission in international understanding, cooperation, and peace. Throughout the course of the past 2 decades, our passion towards global citizenship education and education for international understanding has remained steadfast. Our passion towards nurturing global citizens through education has built peace in the minds of people. Our capacity-building workshops and international exchange programs are reinforcing the global competence of key educators and youth. Our GCED forums and conferences are facilitating global dialogues, resulting in extensive research and practical policy making. Information is categorized and distributed to allow ready access to the latest information on GCED and EIU. We are building up our networks and partnerships to provide a global platform as the leading agency on global citizenship education. APCEIU invested the past 20 years in laying the groundwork for peace. From now on, we will pave the way for a future of living together as we prepare ourselves for a new era. APCEIU will endeavor to foster a culture of peace through GCED by prioritizing solidarity and cooperation in a time when exclusion and hatred are prevalent. Our mission and relentless passion. This is APCEIU's commitment for the future of education. Learning to live together. Asia Pacific Center of Education for International Understanding.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. We hope to see you again. Thank you.